Even though I just posted my music in the Delval chat.
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh my god. Okay, it should be streaming. I'm just gonna wait for it to like show up, and then we'll start. Okay, cool.
We're good?
Yeah, we are good. Okay, awkward handshake. Begin.
Let's
Jenna
begin.
Shotz. No,
What's
that was
up?
a good one. Usually it's like fighting with the mics. Like, okay, let me shake your hand.
I mean, we could do something like a little backwards.
Just a little
so
like dap. Like, what's up? Yeah,
bro.
word. What's good? All right, we out here for round 2, Jenna Shotz.
Yeah, it's been a year.
It's been a year.
Can you
It's
believe
been
that?
a year too, like in both sense of the word. Like physically been a year, and like motherfucker, it's been a year. Like damn, some shit has gone down.
Yeah, a lot has changed.
Yeah, things have happened. So this is BopCast episode. I don't know. I never know the episode. I think it's like 11
It's
or
the
9.
best episode.
It's the best one yet. 100% off the bat. I already know it. So we don't have many expectations to live up to, though. It's just it's a conversation.
Yeah,
you know?
this one
It's a
is going to have
conversation.
low expectations where you typically have intellectuals on this show. That's not going to be...
Not even, though. I've never even had like a real intellect.
But
I just
you've
have
got people that are investing and people that are making moves. I am not making any moves right now.
Yeah, but you've been making moves, though. Like you're...
Yeah.
But
I mean,
expect
I'm always
you to be...
making moves, but
Yeah.
I'm pivoting.
So you
currently.
slowed down. So explain it. Why are you not making moves?
So
or why do you think you're not?
It's been a year, so where do I even start?
Yeah, right.
So in September, I got in a really bad car accident, and just to like, everyone always wants to know what happened because that's like the most intriguing part of the story. So basically, we were on the way to the races. My brother had just put together a race car for me, pretty much to race. We were on our way to go race it for the very first time. I was with my boyfriend and his father. I was at their house, so we were driving separately from them. So we didn't have the trailer or anything. It was just a little SUV. Someone turned left into their driveway or onto a road or something, and we like kind of crested a hill, and it was a little hill, so I can't even say whether or not he saw us. The police report, I haven't even read it to see if he was on his phone or not, but he hit us head on and threw us into a ditch. I flew forward. I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, and right now we're unsure if my head or if my face hit like the headrest, if it hit that like handlebar, or if it was the airbag. But basically I broke my whole eye socket, so from here to here it was all broken. I've got a clean, it was like fractured here. I had a clean break right here. Like the cartilage and everything under here was crumbling.
Wow.
Like I had bone falling behind my eye. My cheekbone was broken here and moved a couple centimeters. My palate had a clean break from the front to back.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah. My jaw was broken in a couple places, and then my sinus collapsed. And I had like a minor concussion, so no real brain damage. So
wow.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of shit.
Yeah. And you know what? You know when like you're watching a movie, and so basically, it went black for me. I felt my dog like. Because it was a 3-row SUV, and my dog, we had the 3rd row down. My dog was sleeping in the back. She flew forward, and then it just went black for me. So I screamed because I didn't know what happened, and I don't remember if I heard anything, but I remember Eddie, my boyfriend, running around the front of the car to my door. I was on the driver's side, and he got me out of the car, and I started to fall, and then he picked me back up, and I'm a religious person, and I have 2 things in this whole story that I call God sightings. And my first one is the fact that I couldn't see. I eventually was able to see, and I saw out of my right eye, but my left eye was completely shut. And I thought I was going to lose it instantly. I know a girl, and actually I had just met her maybe weeks before, that had lost her eye in just a soccer accident as a kid. Wow. And I don't know why, but that's where my brain went. I was like, I'm going to lose this eye. So my God sighting was this woman. This accident happened at the bottom of her driveway. And she came down, and she was a Navy nurse when she was younger.
Wow.
And she just talked me through it, kept me calm. The ambulance came and got me. I was in the back of the ambulance for a while, but we actually had to wait for a second ambulance because I think the guy that hit us realized what had happened, and he started complaining of heart pain or chest pain, and that means heart attack in their priority. So I had to wait. I got transported to Scranton, and peace, love in Scranton, but the doctors up there are not quite what they are around here.
Yeah, everything up there is.
Yeah, it's all old coal money. Like there's just not.
It's
the
an
best
interesting
doctors.
territory.
Yeah. So I got to Scranton. They had put like the gas mask or whatever on me, and I don't remember anything from there. But when I woke up about 24 hours later, I was in State College at a Geisinger hospital. They had flown me to Geisinger.
To another one.
Yeah. They're both Geisinger systems, but this one was like near Penn State. So I woke up there with a breathing tube and a neck brace and...
So is that when you kind of like really woke up, or?
No, I was in and out. I was on a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
So I was
Makes
in
sense,
and out.
So you have to be, yeah.
Mhm. I don't remember like the first thing I remember like experiencing when I woke up. I knew what had happened, and it felt like I was just kind of like very tired, but I couldn't communicate with anyone because I really couldn't see yet. But I know a little bit of sign language. I can really only do the alphabet and like a couple of words, but no one else in my family could do it. So my mom was like so frustrated, and I had a breathing tube, so like obviously I couldn't talk. So my mom was so frustrated, so she went down to like the gift shop, got a notepad and paper, or like a notepad and a pen, and I was just like scribbling notes to everyone. We still have them, and sometimes we look back on them and just laugh because I was so doped out that I was like, Eddie, you have a cute ass.
And you're trying to like give them a message.
Yeah.
And you're doped out and you can't like see.
Yeah.
And you have a breathing tube in you.
Yeah, the breathing tube sucked because the breathing was fine, but sometimes I would like fill up with spit, which is gross, and then they would
I feel like that just probably just happens, right?
Yeah. So then they had to take like this long ass like antenna thing. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Like
no,
good?
sorry, I was just
Oh.
looking at the screen.
So they had to take this like long ass, like imagine the length and stiffness of like a car antenna, and they would shove it down my throat and like clean out my tube.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that was
That's
not
a good
fun.
clip. Imagine the antenna,
Yeah,
and then
just
we'll just get that like 15
visual.
seconds, and then they shove it down my throat.
Yeah, just
end clip.
Yeah.
BopCast. Here we go.
Yeah, so that was I understand what you mean now about the 15-second like promo.
Yeah, that's my promo. Those are the best clips. Really.
So yeah, I remember that.
I'm gonna take you right out of context.
Yeah, I love things out of context. That's gonna be an interesting one. So anyway, that was in for a couple days. I was in the hospital from Friday to Tuesday. I think like Monday night they took my breathing tube out. That was an experience and a half. I went home. Well, I didn't go home. A really wonderful friend, like family friend, had pretty much given us the keys to their vacation house, and I stayed there for about a week. I forgot my one God sighting. So we get to this random Geisinger in State College. How many hours away from here? And my dad's side of the family is very big and not very close. And his second cousin's wife, apparently, we didn't even know it, was the head of the maxillofacial cranial surgery department. She does all the scheduling.
Wow.
So she sees my last name and she's like, holy shit.
Who is it? Yeah.
No, she knew who I was, but she was like, who else has the name Shotz?
Right,
she was
right.
like,
nobody in the world.
Yeah, she was like, oh my God, why is Jenna here? So she like runs down to my room and she comforts my family. But I don't remember all this. This is all story. Yeah. But so yeah, and she had gotten the best surgeon on the floor on my case right away. And
so it couldn't really like the Navy lady and then
that and also so when we were at Scranton, the ER doctor wanted to do surgery right away and fix my face, but to do that he would have had to do what they call a facial flap surgery, and so they cut your face from here to here, and it's not even really like on your hairline, it's like on the side of your face. So I would have had a big old Joker scar, and that's terrible to say, but like scars are a story, but it attracts attention. It invites the story. I just know that I could have been dealing with a lot worse, a lot harder of a scar to overcome.
So then they like waited longer and they didn't have to do that then?
Yeah, so they waited for the swelling to go down and waited.
That's what
I did so many MRIs and CAT scans and everything. Yep. So I waited another week, stayed at that house for about until Sunday. So we went from Tuesday to Sunday at that house. Monday morning, I went into surgery. Surgery was supposed to take like 4 hours. It took like 8.5.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Was it like was there things that they didn't think were broken that were? Or
yeah,
things like
so they didn't realize that the palate was a clean break. They thought it was a fracture, and I didn't think the jaw was as bad as it was. So I was warned I could have my jaw wired. They really thought I wasn't gonna have to. So to be honest, I was not mentally preparing myself for that.
Yeah.
So I
That's
wake up.
some shit.
Yeah. So I wake up from surgery with my jaw wired shut and my left eye sewn shut. Yeah.
Whoa.
I listened to Friends for like 48 hours. I didn't watch Friends. I listened to Friends.
You're like, fucking Joey. Not again.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. That and Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Yeah. That was my shit.
You're you just had the theme song like constantly stuck in your head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's my hospital story. I mean, there's much more, residual effects that I still deal with, but.
So
that was the big one.
So this entire thing from like the time that it started to when you like got home.
Yeah,
was
so
that
I
like
was
2 weeks or 3?
Well, yeah, okay, so
because you stayed in their house for a
Friday.
week. Mm-hmm.
The accident was on a Friday. So Friday, Saturday to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 4 days in the hospital, and then what's that? Another 5 days to Sunday. I think that's right. And then 2 more days in the hospital. So I guess that's only about a week.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not even that as long as I thought it was. So it's about a week until I got home. Yeah. Which feels like forever.
And then are you are you getting like care at home too?
My mom.
Or, yeah.
My mom owns her own business, and so she was able to pretty much stay with me.
And they like they took the
2 weeks.
And they put your jaw back
like a week and a half later. I went to go get my stitches out of my eye, so I was able to open my eye again. I'll show you the pictures later if you want. Ugh.
Sure.
So I got the stitches out of my eye. I was able to open my eye. I got like the stitches that they actually ended up going here under my eyebrow, here right under my eye, and then through my mouth for the surgery. So it was all microscopic. That's how they got in their place. They're literal titanium plates now.
So like the stitches are, or like
no, the plates like to replace the bone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they I don't have cheekbone anymore. It's metal.
Oh, okay. It's all like that's what they say when they say reconstruction. It's
literal
actual reconstruction.
Yeah. So my mom was home with me for the next like month, and we would go visit the doctor like every 4 days out in State College. I put so many miles on my effing car.
I bet.
And it took 3.5 weeks to get my jaw unwired. And for anyone who has had their jaw unwired or has had their jaw wired, I think you know what I'm talking about when I say getting the wires cut and having to stretch your mouth back out is the 10 out of 10 that I was saving for. The whole time I was like, I am not giving a 10 out of 10 for my pain scale. I'm saving that, and I don't even want to use it. So I was like,
'cause you know
8.5,
it's
9.
gonna be.
Yeah, and the doctors knew. They knew that I was saving that 10. So they knew if I gave a 10 out of 10 that I was not kidding.
20 out of 10, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ate like bone broth like every day because I wanted to heal right.
Yeah.
And so I was healing so well that my jaw on this side, the bones were starting to fuse together the way they weren't supposed to. So they actually took
So your body was like, fuck all this shit. Let me just fix this.
Yeah.
Right now.
So they realized that, and so there was like this medieval torture device, I call it. Literal like a duck's beak would go in my mouth, and then you would squeeze the trigger like here, and it would stretch your mouth. So comfortably, I could get like maybe a finger in my mouth, maybe when it first got unwired. They wanted me to get like this wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they
like back to normal. Yeah.
Yeah. So they squeezed it. They had to hold me down. Like I screamed, and they had to keep doing it.
And
because
you're
they had to
still
stretch
like
it.
getting like you're still on drugs too, or?
I don't remember if I was on any pain meds at this point. I don't remember.
It probably wouldn't have made.
No, I don't think. I mean,
like, could they have numbed your mouth or like what?
I don't even remember what they did.
Because I feel like at that point, because even if they numb it, when
they did numb like a topical numbing.
Yeah, but when the numbing's done, then that shit gonna hurt.
Right. When I had
so you might as well just take the pain in the beginning, right? And
yeah.
Then,
So they basically, my mom said because my mouth was closed for 3.5 weeks. It actually longer than that, 4 weeks, because when the accident happened, I couldn't open my mouth really anyways. I could get like an Oreo in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I could barely open my mouth even then. So aside from my bones, my muscles also had contracted and tightened so much that stretching them is like walking for the first time. You know what I mean? And so she said she saw both sides just like shaking, like my muscles in my mouth pretty much. So yeah, and then they gave me that tool to go home with and stretch and hold it and stretch. And I had to do that a couple times a day. That sucked. It's over now though. I to be completely honest, this is probably something I shouldn't say because of the lawsuit, but it's like pretty much.
I'm glad there's like conflicts of interest on this podcast. This is fucking great for me.
Secrecy.
Yeah, she couldn't talk about it, the lawsuit. So pretty legit.
Yeah.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, just that.
Well, you can't even talk about the details of it, or the details of
my
you?
healing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, because
what happened is what happened.
Then they pull this up somehow, and they're like, "Hey, you're on this fucking podcast with this dumbass."
Saying this happened or that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, although fact is fact, what happened is what happened. I just don't want my lawyer to be
really
like, "You
admit
talked about this."
new evidence. Like it's a bitch to admit new evidence. Like
and
a podcast.
Right now we're
like,
going into
like,
mediation. Right. Right now we're going into mediation.
Are you trying to settle, or are you trying to get them to settle? Right.
Well, they're trying to get us to settle.
Really?
They keep giving us offers, and I've got like a bulldog for a lawyer, and he's like, "That's not good enough. Like, you got to offer something a little bit better."
Yeah, because I mean,
crazy hospital bills.
Usually people don't go to court, and like 90% of the time, people don't go to court, right?
Well, because they don't want to go to court.
Yeah,
the insurance companies don't want to go to court.
And straight up, and that's going to be a battle. Like, how close are you to settling? Like, are they getting there?
About a year, I'd say.
Like, they're gonna eventually give you what you want, right? Probably most likely. Or
I mean, right now we have a high-low set up, so there's a maximum amount that I can get, and then there's a minimum amount that I can get. So that's kind of to protect both of us.
Sure.
So like a mediator can't come in and say, so just throwing out numbers. These are not the numbers involved in my lawsuit, but just to give round numbers. Say the high was $1 million, and say the low was 500,000. Those two numbers are to protect me, because if the mediator's an asshole and says, "Nah, her damages aren't that much. She only deserves 200,000."
Yeah.
Well, that insurance company just walked off, happy. Let's go out to lunch.
Literally had to do nothing. Yeah. Give you nothing.
Right, and that only covers my hospital bills, if that. And but on the flip side, it's to protect them as well, because if a mediator comes in and says, "You've ruined her life. Her life is forever changed." Right. Yeah. And that used to actually be the way it kind of was. It was a sliding scale. It kind of was that way where, if, say, you had $300,000 in medical bills, you automatically, the minimum you can get was like 3 times that or something like that. So like 900.
And then there was like, there's the lawsuit, like the McDonald's lawsuit's pretty famous. Like there's the ones that are like, the judge was like, whoa, we gotta like, that's a lot of money, you know? And, well, shit. So you're like, you got a lot out of this. Like, you got a lot, like, I'm not, like, obviously good and bad, but, I guess
there's a silver lining to the situation. There's a silver lining
is what I'm trying to get at. Like, you have a lot of experience from this now. Like, you have experience in a lawsuit. You have experience in suing somebody. So, like, all this different car accident. Like, all the healing process. It's like.
The mental toughness I've gained from this.
And you were already tough before, so that's why I was like, shit, if this happened to, I know some people that I'm not going to name, they wouldn't even have half of the strength that you had. So, because I just already know you from no, anytime, but that's just the truth, And then obviously the irony is,
I'm a race car driver and I can race every weekend. I've heard it all before. But, the minute I get into a backseat and I'm like falling asleep in the backseat, I break my face.
Yep.
Like, of course.
That's all I thought about was, oh my God. Yeah. It wasn't, she had nothing to do with this. Like, because you're safe. You're obviously, and you're like.
Well, you're in a 5-point harness, a Hans device, a helmet, fire suit,
It's
all
probably
the
safer.
Stuff.
Is it safer than driving a car?
Is.
Yeah.
It probably
well,
is.
You
because
have to wear your seatbelt.
Qualified people,
right?
too, though.
And you have to wear all that shit. Yeah.
I will say that I am lucky that the suit is getting I am lucky that it happened in PA, because the laws in New Jersey are you're like 3/4 liable for wearing or using all safety precautions in the vehicle that you can.
Yeah, everything's fucked.
You can't even bring it up in PA. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
So they can't even use that. So you're
as far as I know.
Okay, good shit.
Yeah.
Well, because I was thinking that too. I was like, yeah, they're gonna get you on that, but if they can't even bring it, it's not even admissible in court, then
right.
Then
good for
okay,
me.
great.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, please, if anyone takes anything away from this, though, please just wear your seatbelt in the back seat. I was someone that always did, but I got lazy about it.
Never do. I'd never wear it in the back seat. Like, I wear it like 50% of the time, all the time.
You really don't think that it's gonna happen to you? But if I was wearing my seatbelt, this is probably something I shouldn't say, but I might be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might have had really just like a scratch and a bruise.
Or you might have sliced through your.
Or I might have been worse.
Yeah,
you're right. Who is to say?
Yeah, you could have. Well, you can get a concussion. You don't have to get hit in your head. Like, you probably would have got. Maybe you would have got even worse concussion and had brain damage. You know, like, your head could have rocked.
You're right.
You know, who knows? Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
So either way, I mean, I think you're probably better off where you're at.
Whatever.
Because the unknown could always be worse. So.
And I am so blessed and lucky that there wasn't brain damage.
Yeah.
Because that's rumors spread so fast, especially because of social media. And I don't know how you heard, but a lot of people heard from my brother's initial post. Like, it might have been actually Eddie's sister, but
somebody shared it first.
Yeah.
And then, because I don't go on Facebook, so if I do, it's rare. It's for like a minute at a time. I look at the first post and then I just X out.
Over it.
But I saw yours. I saw somebody that shared it, and then I saw your post.
Yeah. But the rumor mill just moved, and all of a sudden in the racing
plus
community,
you're connected with so many people. Like, follow you and like are fans of you. So that's kind of like you have that too aspect, right? Like, a lot of people know you.
Yeah. So especially in the racing community, the rumor mill just got it just grew, and so at one point I was brain dead, and like that's what people thought, and I was never gonna speak again, and like all my teeth had fallen out, and I was never gonna walk again.
Yeah, that's just human.
Right.
Nature. Yeah.
Absolutely. But at the same time, I think I just got. Can I give a shout out to my best friend,
Liz? You want.
She just texted me, said, "Watching on this podcast, and baby girl, you are thriving, and damn, you're strong. Love you lots. P.S. Sully Bop is cute. Get me his digits."
Hey, that's it. This is why I do the podcast.
Yeah. She's the best.
Awesome. So, shout out to her. What's her name?
Yeah, Liz.
Shout out to Liz. Thank you, Liz, for watching. And we'll let you know.
Yeah. So, what were we even talking about?
Shit.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Just the rumor mill of how things can get turned around, and all of those are possibilities and things that could have happened. So, end of story. I know that I was really lucky with the fact that everything wasn't worse.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of really wonderful people around me. I didn't even know people still sent mail, like use the USPS.
Yeah, my parents and.
But I got so many packages from people, like you wouldn't believe.
Wow.
Get well cards. People would send me.
They realize how much it means, though. I think
it does, and I've realized that. That's like something
you used to
that
just get
I
like
do
a birthday
now.
card, like all the,
Yeah.
and then but like for somebody for that to
get
happen
a literal
to you,
care package, the amount of stuffed animals I got, the amount of blankets, like I still cherish all of them.
You have to, right?
Yeah, people came and visited me.
Yeah.
I had a full house at one point, and I couldn't see any of them.
Wow.
But I could hear them. I heard everything, and I mean, like I felt their sadness and pain
100%.
and whatever. But
you know how this is our relationship. I'm bad at keeping up with things, but this is what we do.
Yeah.
I get you on here, and then I let you go because I kind of saw it happening, but I wasn't. I was like, I don't even know what state she's in.
Right.
And she's got 1,000 people texting her a day and sending you mail and all these things, and calling you, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait till it all, because I know she's okay. That's fine. Like, I know you're okay. I'm just gonna wait till I could get you on the podcast to talk about it, because that's just my way of doing it. But yeah,
absolutely, I mean, that's our friendship too, you know.
Yeah, that's how it is. No, obviously, like, no, you came up here. Yeah, we were talking for like 5 minutes, and then it's just
we were like,
bang,
let's just do
this shit. Yeah, because that's how it is. I mean, that's what I
had
like
some
to do.
really wonderful family friends and like best
I'm
friends.
so happy that so many people reach out.
Every day I had a visitor, and every day I had a new package coming. Like, my mother was like the crazy lady. You know my mom. You know that she's like a lunatic, and I love her.
I love her too. No, shout out to your
Robin.
mom. She's awesome.
So she had told my brother one day, she's like, when you come back tomorrow, please bring me clothes. So he brought her clothes, and she's like, just bring me something comfortable. So the idiot he is. Just men in general. I feel like any man would do this when comfortable clothes. Oh, pajamas. So he brought her that's fuzzy
what
minion.
Popped in my head.
Yeah, fuzzy minion pajamas and like a bleach work shirt. She's a cleaning lady, and so she was walking around this trauma floor. I was on the trauma floor this whole time, so we got to know everybody.
Yeah,
and she was just the crazy lady that walked around with minion pants and dirty shirts and whatever, and people like they knew who she was, and I was getting packages twice a day, 3 times a day, and so they would find her and they'd just give her the packages and she'd come in.
Yeah,
I'd have chocolates, I'd have stuffed animals, I'd have cards.
Did you have to wait to eat the chocolates? Or
I did. Yeah, unfortunately.
That was probably brutal.
Yeah, well, I was on a feeding
probably
tube.
Miss food like a motherfucker, right?
Oh my god, like you wouldn't believe.
Like what? Was it a gradual way back, or was it?
So
were you like, it's time for a diet now, or like?
I lost 22 pounds.
I was gonna say you probably, because bone broth, right? Like
I mean, I salted the shit out of that, but otherwise, bone broth is not good. The first week after I got my jaw wired, I just wanted a cheeseburger. That's all I wanted.
That's what I would crave too.
I actually. Eddie can attest to this. We went to McDonald's one day because we were just like on the road or whatever, and he was hungry, and at that point I didn't care. Like I just accepted the fact that I couldn't eat, but I smelled the fries and I was like, I need a fry. So I managed to get a fry back behind my teeth, and I shoved it around my molars.
Wow.
And ate the fry, and that was the most satisfying moment of my life.
That was probably
the dopamine hit
like the
I received from that.
Sensation, right? Yeah.
Of solid food.
Because we're so addicted to food, and we're so addicted to salt and sugar and everything.
Oh,
like, yeah.
That dopamine hit was a complete rush.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's crazy. You don't think about it until that happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the first thing I ate after I got my wires cut, my mom took me to Panera, and I had some mac and cheese. That was awesome.
Yeah, Panera mac and cheese.
Yeah, I had to smush it with my tongue, but what are you going to do? That's quite a visual,
too. That's what you got to do.
That could be the clip. I had to smush it with my tongue.
Bang, that's a clip. BopCast. This is what we do.
But yeah, food was something I missed. After the first week and a half, the second half of having my jaw wired, just smelling food was satisfying enough.
Yeah.
Like, if Eddie would be eating, like, a cheeseburger or, like, pulled pork sandwich or something, I just, like, that
So did it affect, like, your smell, right? Didn't everything...
I mean, my sinus was collapsed, but actually I have less sinus headaches now because I'm pretty sure I had a deviated septum. And I think
did it just open it up? Yeah. Is that what it is? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. I would get sinus headaches, though, and I'd get pressure on the bridge of my nose, under my eyes, and on my eyebrows. Is it because, like, the structure of the I don't even know. Well, deviated septum.
Yeah, what is that?
Like,
I don't even know what that means. I hear it all the time. But
you know the holes up in your mouth where you breathe through your nose and it goes to your lungs? Well, I think it's that whole system, and up here, sometimes one is just a little bit smaller than the other.
Oh, I see.
And, like...
Yeah.
Like now they're
I have problems with that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I was like a mouth breather because of that. Like now I'm like starting to not become a mouth breather anymore and trying to like.
Yeah. Now they're pretty even, but once before, like I could close this nostril and this one I couldn't breathe. You know what I mean?
So now what is the after effect? What is do you have pain? Do you have? What's the deal now?
So now I just can't feel the left side of my face. It almost. Have you ever put like a face mask on? Like has a girl ever made you put like? You might not want to admit to this.
I really haven't. I would though. I really don't. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me. But I actually haven't. But
so when they get hard, just imagine that feeling of when it gets really hard on your face and you can't move, like your muscles or whatever. That's like the sensation that I feel.
So do you like feel like this whole? You don't feel anything here, or well, I guess here.
Like when I touch it, I could not tell you where I'm touching my face right now, but I can tell you that I'm touching it.
Okay.
It's tingly. It's like tickly.
And then at one point farther back, you start feeling it again, or is it like
right here
in your neck? Okay,
right here.
Cool.
I start feeling it. And down here. But
I feel like that's a good place not to feel things, though.
Yeah, who cares? Really?
Nobody. Like if I.
Yeah.
Like we don't need that. Like well, I mean, you know.
I'm lucky that I can move my muscles. I can control everything. I can smile.
Like your cheeks move. So
yeah, right.
What is it? Like your smile. Like your smile didn't go away.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. For me, I just as long as I could shave. That would be helpful for shave my beard. I think. I feel like. Or maybe it would be worse because I couldn't feel where
you're going. When you have the mirror.
Yeah, I got the mirror.
I will say that emotionally, after I got my jaw unwired, I still for a month had to keep the arch bars on. I forget why he said. I think it was something about like the jaw healing the right way or something. But because I had to wear rubber bands. That's right. to keep it from like shifting, because it also shifted. The jaw shifted.
Like
so
left
to keep
to right.
it, it shifted left. So to keep it correcting to the right, I had to keep arch bars and rubber bands on, and I had just gotten a new job because I moved in with Eddie again, and I started a job at a diner. And it was just really tough to get to know people and to, I don't know, just feel like I have my smile.
Yeah.
When I have like literal like metal plates still here and here, and like I look like a freaking chipmunk.
Yeah.
Because I got.
And you're trying to like just go through normal life and get a new job.
So that was hard to. I remember
the assimilation is tough.
I remember getting those off because I had gotten a second surgery, and I remember getting those off in that surgery, and just being able to smile again. And I FaceTimed my dad, and I was like, "Dad, look, I can smile!" And like he cried, I cried.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
You really went through it, Jen.
I did, and you know, I'm kind of in limbo right now. Then, after I think we lived together again for like another 2 months, we just kind of needed to take a step back. So Eddie and I had broken up for a little while. I moved back in with my parents.
Yep.
I went back to the bagel store. I work at the bagel store now, and Eddie and I are back together now, but I'm sort of just like in a limbo.
If you watch the last one too, which if you are listening now, like after this, go back and listen because you'll put more pieces together too.
Exactly.
Because you still talk about Eddie in that one too, so it's good to it's like a continuation.
Yeah.
A year later.
Yeah, exactly. And so to look from where I was, like, you're right. I am still making moves, but I'm pivoting. And do you remember when we threw out the word multi-passionate?
Yeah, I still love it. I go back just to hear that.
Yeah?
Yeah, just so I can remember, like.
Mm-hmm. And if I could use one word to describe myself, it'd be that word.
Yeah.
And I think I allowed it to trip me up a lot. I tried to
Well, it
push
gets you
down.
wondering what you're really passionate about.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, for the last 2 years of my life, I was just trying desperately to fill my cup, to just, you know, figure out what was going to fill that cup. I was doing everything. I was really exhausting myself.
Like 100 miles an hour.
And expecting so much out of myself.
Sure.
And I was doing things
you were a hustler.
for the wrong, but I was doing things for the wrong reason too. You know what I mean? Like I just.
Like what reason was the wrong reason?
So doing the PR stuff for racing, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the creative aspect.
Yeah.
But a big driving force that I allowed to become too loud was wanting to be well known and wanting to be the
like
best
figure,
female
influencer in
the
game.
In the game. Sure, you know, and I was too worried about being this big pawn in the game, and I wasn't worried enough about the content I was putting out.
Like,
and
you wanted the macro and you weren't worried about the micro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
when the micro is literally
it's everything. And I was just wondering, like, why do I not feel fulfilled?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it.
But I feel like I'm doing so much.
Right.
But at the same time, where am I? Yeah.
But why am I not happy still?
Yeah.
And so I've kind of, I'm still in that limbo of, like, figuring out where all these pieces are going to fit in my life. And I still want to promote races, but I have to figure out where that's going to fit into my life, because it became all of my life. It became all encompassing
rather than being your life.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And
so you have to have a life other than that.
And for me, racing was that hobby, that escape, that fun thing I looked forward to. And then it became work. And then it became not just 9 to 5 work. It became the minute I woke up until late at night.
Well, you have your own brand. You have this. You have that. You have Jenna Shotz. You're taking pictures. You're writing articles. You're doing this. It's like
it was
all.
Too much.
You're right. It's all encompassing.
And it was
full circle.
All being motivated by helping this brand rather than like one thing that just can fill my cup over and over and over and over again is like making other people happy. And
Yep.
I don't know if that's really the right way to put it, but okay, so like here's a question. If you were to win the Mega Millions, if you won $5 billion and you never had to worry about money again, $5 billion.
Yeah.
Never had to let's make it 15 billion. You really don't have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. What would you do with your day? What does your day look like?
I mean, like, I'm playing devil's advocate for myself, but honestly, I don't really. I've thought about it before, and I want to think that I really wouldn't change a lot of things. Like, I want to think that I would. Honestly, I would probably quit my job. I love my job. Like, my job is making people happy. Like, that's what I do. Like, I'm a DJ. That's what I do. It's amazing. Like, it's the best job. I would probably quit that. But my internship, I would be good because I could stay there for, like, the whole... I could keep doing it and keep learning because the money wouldn't buy me knowledge. And that's what I want. That's why I'm working for free.
Keep learning.
Yeah, so that's what I would do. I would take away, like, I love my job, and shout out to my boss. Like, it's dope. It's a great job. But that's what I would do. I think I would keep learning, though. Because I realized, like, my initial intention would be, yeah, let's open a music studio. Let's be a producer, engineer. Let's just do it. Let's make a record label. And then I realized, like, I don't even have any experience in any of that shit. You know? So I would probably just keep learning, honestly.
Yeah.
I would hope. Maybe I become some megalomaniac fucking asshole, and I just literally buy a bunch of... I don't know.
Buy that house over on James Road.
Buy the house on James Road with all the cars, with the LaFerrari, and I just say fuck all for the rest of my life. I don't know, but I think that I would just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I would have a podcast studio.
Yeah.
You know, I would
maybe
keep
not
talking
your bedroom.
I'd keep talking to people, yeah.
Yeah. And that's great. And for me, when I asked myself that question, I would not keep doing what I was doing at that time. It would be something completely different. And that's when I realized this is not fulfilling me, and it's not ever going to. No matter how far I get with it, no matter what job I get, no matter if I make it to the United States Auto Club, National Tour, World of Outlaws, whatever, and I'm their main PR person, it's still not going to make me happy. Yeah. I'm going to be successful, but
quote unquote,
to be completely honest, and I think I've learned this mostly from being in that accident, is it doesn't... Can I curse?
As much as you want.
It doesn't fucking matter. You know what, and maybe to some it will, maybe that fills their cup, but for me, I don't need to leave a legacy for myself. I don't really give a shit. One thing that fills my cup over and over again, I love to play with my dog. I want to work with animals. Like, if I won that $15 billion, I'd open a friggin' animal shelter, and
exotic
I'd let the dogs...
Farm. You'd
whatever.
be taking in kangaroos and shit,
Yeah, and I'd be a freaking safari woman. And I don't even know, I would probably start a farm, and I would just
charity, help people, Yeah,
I would.
That's what it would be.
I
help people in car accidents who can't pay for their medical, like...
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? And I do hope to one day get back to that, working in the racing industry sort of a thing, and maybe promoting my own race. And a part of the reason that I did kind of quit where I was headed was because I didn't like not the person I was working for, but just the way it was, like, kind of
the aura of it, like the vibe
just like the goals again were not
actions,
there for that person, and in turn were not there for me.
That's how it goes down the line. It starts on the top. And then that's the chain of command is you're not gonna have a great manager if his manager fucking sucks. Right
Exactly. And then you're not gonna have good employees, and I just was finding that I was doing a good job, but I was miserable doing the job, and I never felt like I was giving my best content. I was making my best content. I never felt like this was a good reflection of what I'm
naturally do
capable
that
of.
if that's your
you know. So I need to.
You have to be motivated intrinsically, basically, to do it. And
exactly. So like I'm pivoting, and I'm kind of figuring out. And you know what else I really do hope to kind of get into as well is I really want to flip houses. That's so random.
No, it's a great.
This summer I'm going to get my real estate license. Money. It's kind of hard to make it in the real estate business. I'm gonna try though, and
I know people who tried and failed, and I know people who are very successful doing it.
And so I would love to flip houses.
I know people who do it too. Like, I could link you with people too.
But
depending on where you go.
I think you understand the weight of the fact that I'm talking about this for my future, but some people may not, because since I was maybe a sophomore in high school, this is what I wanted. I wanted to work in the racing industry. Racing was everything to me.
When I thought about your name, that's what I thought about. So, yeah.
Right, and that's fine, and I'm happy about that. I love representing.
For a long time.
Right, I love representing the racing community. I love being involved. I love everything about it. Where I was at, I was not happy, but I want the listeners to understand the weight of that not decision, like it wasn't like a heavy decision I made, but like this heavy pivot that I made. It is,
because you'll be living a completely different life from the life that you were living.
And for a long time, I even think that I thought that it was so ridiculous to change my mind. I was like, I've worked so hard.
Yeah, like
I am good at it.
This is my thing. Why would I leave? Yeah.
Right. Like, what's the point? It's too late to change my mind. And to ever believe that it's too late to pivot in any direction.
You can fucking pivot when you're 40.
Exactly.
And you should.
Whether how small or how big.
And you should, yeah.
You can. Whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job, your major, a school, where you're living.
Yeah. I pivoted all of that. I mean, like, everything I pivoted. Like, when I was in high school, I didn't really do a lot, but I worked a job. I quit sports and I worked a job that I knew I would gain knowledge in. So that was a pivot from sports to work. And my friends go, what are you doing? Why aren't you showing up to soccer practice? Fuck that. I'm going to go make money and learn. So then I go make money and learn. And then, boom, that job, I make so much money from that job that I can go to college after community college. I can go to community college and regular college. So I'm like, wow, look at this. Like, I was right, you know?
Yeah.
Like, my pivot made sense. So then I go from community college to university. And that job allowed me to do that. And the credits I got from the community college allowed me to do that. And now I'm at the university and I'm like, okay, I don't want to be a mechanic anymore. Let me pivot again. Okay, I applied. Okay, now I'm a DJ. Okay,
but the one thing
pivot.
that some people hold them down so much is thinking, I've gained all this knowledge from being a mechanic. You know, that's the way my brain works. I spent all these years learning this trade. What's the use? Even though I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Even though there's really no... You know, it's kind of a dead-end situation.
It is. It's a glass ceiling. It's cog in the machine. It's go to work, get underpaid.
Right.
Every day.
For some people, maybe that's okay.
But they got things to do. They got money. They need money to buy things. Yeah.
Right. And some people maybe want to own a shop. But just to even the sheer fact of leaving that knowledge, not behind, but kind of storing it away in like a little closet
and all
or something.
work experience is experience. It's
Absolutely.
not my mechanic experience. There's a couple things that help me DJ somehow. There's a couple things I do.
Yeah.
Talking to customers, sure. It's explaining things to customers, being concise, providing solutions, set of problems. Like, that's something that it could be the polar opposite job.
Yeah.
You know, you could be landscaping. That could help. It could help you with anything, really. So yeah, no, the pivot is the mandatory move. I think because also, yeah, you're right. People they think they're too. I'm invested. I've already done this so long. You haven't done shit you haven't done anything.
Right.
If you worked a job for 10 years, you live for 80 or 70, so that's only 10.
Yeah.
That's 1/7.
Such a small drop in the bucket.
That's 1/7 or 1/8 of all the time that you actually have.
Exactly.
And then even if you did do a job for 30 years, you could still do another job for 20. Like,
yeah.
You know, and at this point in our lives especially, like, well, there's just a lot of pressure, and we talked about this last time. There's just a lot of pressure to figure it out, and there's people who are 48 and don't have it figured out. So how are we supposed to expect to figure it out? And
that's not to say give up, but that's
no, it should be the opposite of give up.
Right.
Try. The thing is, try new things always.
Always be trying new things, and
start from the bottom of try something else and start from the beginning and say, I don't know anything about this.
Right.
Let me just be humble and accept all the information.
Start from the bottom.
Yeah.
I tried so hard to put myself into this tightly knit box, and I hid and I suppressed all these other things that I love, like photography, writing about other things other than race cars, you know, doing the home improvement stuff, working with animals, volunteering. I allowed myself to see myself just in this nicely, you know, tied you know, box with a bow on it. That was what I was, and that was it. I really didn't need to do anything else. My glass is, you know, half empty, but who cares? Yeah. Well, no, this accident
food
forced
on the table,
me,
and there's money in my pocket, and it's like, okay.
Forced me to unwrap this bow, lay it all on the table, open all these drawers that I allowed to be closed for so long, and say, what else am I gonna add to my life here? Like, why am I suppressing these other things?
Does it take this to make me realize that I really not sure if I'm really on the right track.
Right.
And it could be anything. Like, I think you don't need to get in an accident. You could read a book, you can watch a butterfly, you can there's like,
I love all that simple shit, and I never allowed myself to enjoy that before because my mind was so
it was
tunnel
vision. Yeah, it was tunnel vision on what you were doing,
and what I was doing. And half the time, it wasn't even me working on these things that kept me busy. It was like the brain fog that just I was thinking about, what do I need to do? What's next? Oh, this is going to be late if I don't do this right now. Whatever. Like, I have to call this person. I have to be on this conference call. Whatever it may be. Yeah. I was never thinking, like, I hadn't read a book in like a year. I'm finally reading again. I'm sitting outside and I'm enjoying the weather, and I'm just throwing the ball at my dog. Like
I go to the beach by myself because first of all, I
mean, not all the time. I freaking love alone time. So
yeah, me
hell
too.
Yeah.
I don't. First of all, I love people, but
alone time is so necessary.
It's mandatory, and you'll go insane without it.
Yeah.
And I asked my roommate, I was like, "Listen, man, it's gonna be a beautiful day. You want to go to the beach?" He had things to do, and I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go." And I just go and I read my book. I ran 4 miles. Like, I milked it. Yeah, I milked it.
A couple hours.
And I got back. Yeah, and I'm literally just sitting there reading this book that I'm rereading because I didn't grasp all the information, obviously. And like, I'm like, you know what? Like, sometimes you just gotta sit there.
Yeah.
And just be. Yeah, be in the moment and just be. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if I could preach about one relationship thing that I've learned.
No, please do, because I don't preach about. I don't have the experience, so it's not good. I shouldn't talk about. I shouldn't be the one to talk, so you should.
I mean, Eddie and I have had our ups and downs. We've been together on and off for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing that I've learned in the last even couple months, just moving home, you need to have that time for yourself. Like, I take a freaking pole dancing workout class now.
Is that what you're going? That's so cool.
Yeah, and awesome. It's so fun, and it's just an hour that I don't have to have any expectations of anyone else. No one has any expectations of me.
Yep.
Like, I just can be. Sometimes I'll go to the movies by myself.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I take myself out to lunch all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Alone time is so important. And when him and I lived together, I had so high expectations of him to like almost do everything with me because we're so similar and we do love all the same things. But like, if he just wasn't into it that day, I would almost be disappointed. And then I had to kind of learn, like, alone time is actually the best time because you don't have to be talking to anybody. No one is up your shit.
That's how I made everything that I ever made. Like, that's how I like spend hundreds of hours making music. Like, I have to. I don't have a choice. Like, I have to sit down there and do it. Like, there is no, like, nobody's gonna do it for me.
Right.
You know, and I can put it out and get 50 plays, and I'm like, that's fine. I have to go make more now. You know, and it never ends. Like, it's life. I mean, it never ends. And you gotta, if you're not good with yourself, you're not gonna be good with other people.
Absolutely.
I can't have this podcast if I'm not in the right state of mind, right? Like, I can't do this podcast right. Or I can't talk to people and relay information.
When you asked me today, or was it today that you had texted me?
Yeah, I texted you today.
I almost thought, like, I'm not gonna have anything good to say.
People always think that for some reason.
Because, I mean, if you compare it to where I was, you know, a year ago, I'm almost taking...
Yeah, what am I
feel like I've taken a step back, and I feel like I'm not going to have anything good to say. But then I kind of realized, like, who gives a shit? We are all...
Doesn't matter.
I guarantee most of the people listening probably feel like they are also in a limbo, and also, like, they are... maybe not without direction, not like they're sporadic, but... maybe feel like they just aren't at their best.
Or they're they're doing like some things they like, but there's a lot of things they don't like.
You can't always be at your best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I let myself believe that for so long that if I wasn't at my best, I was failing. That's not the case. Like, life just has these ebbs and flows.
Well, you're supposed to fail too. So if you are failing, it's a good thing. If you're winning, it's like only for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, you might as well just take it in, take a breath, and go fail at something after. You know,
I know you like Casey Musgraves. You ever hear that song "Happy and Sad"?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I love her.
That.
I just got into her actually from that recent album.
Yeah, I love Casey Musgraves. She's been like my number one since the beginning. My dad actually he introduced me to her when she came out with "Follow Your Arrow," and on my race car for the past couple of years we've put "Follow Your Arrow" on it.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I mean you have to. That's basically just follow what makes you happy. Like, just do what makes you happy.
Whatever it is.
Follow it.
Who gives a shit? Like, that's just my mindset anymore. It's just no one cares about what you're doing as much as you think that they do. Yeah. No one really gives a shit. Yeah. So just do
if they do
whatever
care, they
you
care
feel
for
like
5
doing.
seconds and then they keep scrolling.
Exactly. You know what? And that comes
That's
down
the
to
thing.
social media.
I can spend
the
fucking 900 hours making one song and it'll get 10 plays. There's like, it just, who am I? There's like, I can't blame people for not listening to it, you know? Like,
as long as you're proud of what you're putting out.
Exactly. And it's like, that's just the game. Like, that's just, I signed up for this. Like, I signed up to take it seriously and just continue to do it, you know?
Right.
And in the expectation of one day, you know, it's going to pay off. Or maybe it won't.
Maybe in 5 years you'll pivot and it'll change, but you'll still have that love for music.
Yeah, and I'll still have the grind, and I'll still have the ambition and the ability to learn things from the start. You know, I mean, like, you can always learn new things, even when you're old, I think.
Yeah,
and
if you're not
you should
learning,
be able to.
then you're not growing.
Yeah.
And if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Exactly. Like this, on Saturday, I'm going to a small business meetup for my internship. And I'm just excited to meet people, like just meet DJs and producers and people that are in it that actually make a living out of it, you know, because that's just...
Learn from them.
Yeah, that is, okay, come on my podcast, explain it. Like, I'm going to get the guy who owns the studio, shout out Tyler, like, I'm going to get him on and explain how he opened his own studio. And so it's like, I'm always meeting people that I can use and use as information and then disseminate the information for other people. And then it's a win-win, and then it comes back. Like, that's why I have the podcast.
It makes me sad, though, that sometimes people just don't live that way, and sometimes people are just kind of happy being stagnant and satisfied.
Well, if you're comfortable and happy and you are content, then then you're not gonna grow, but then you don't have to grow.
I guess you don't have to. Yeah, exactly.
Like, right now, like, I'm good. Like, I don't have a ton of money, but I'm good. I'm happy. Like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not complaining about it. And if I wanted more money, I would just go out and work more, you know? And that's just the reality. And I think some people just are like, this is the amount of money I have. I'm okay. Like, okay, this job is not the most fulfilling, but I have food on the table and I can live and I don't have to go to college and I'm okay. And it's a 9 to 5.
Some people are happy just kind of living with the simplicity.
Some people make $70,000 a year and they're the happiest people you ever meet in your life. Some people make $400,000 a year and they're the most miserable people you meet in your life. So you got to work for the money, but don't live for the money, right? If you chase the money, you won't win.
Yeah,
you'll just have money, but you won't have anything else.
That goes hand in hand with chasing the money and chasing like the ego or the pride that I was kind of chasing with.
It feels good. I mean, it feels good to like go buy a car or like if you're going to make a down payment on a car, like you have like $8,000 cash with you.
That's the Jeep out there is the first car I'm ever making payments on, and it feels great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it feels.
I've always bought everything cash, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I was trying to. I
feel you.
Kind of could have, but I'm trying to grow my credit, so I put.
If I was more aware, I bought my car like when I was like 17 or I just turned 18, so wasn't even in that. Now I got my first credit card like 3 months ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I'm 20.
I have 2 now.
Yeah, that's a good thing though. I mean.
Yeah, I do have good credit, so I'm lucky.
I'm building
about
it.
that.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah, I'm just paying her off and just keep going. Apparently, it's good to have, you know.
Yeah, and you know, for emergencies, it's good to have too. But sometimes they can get you in trouble.
Right, you never know.
I was out of work for months, and then I moved home, and I still had a twin bed. I really didn't have any money, and I put an entire new queen bed on my credit card, and I've paid it off now. But at the time, I was like, wow, shit.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes you got, I had the twin for, 19 years, or whatever. And then, just got a new one in September.
I had gotten used to...
Now I want to go back to the twin, though, because I want more room in my bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm about to put my studio in my closet because I'm, like, at school. I'm like, I want the room.
Yeah, I understand that. My room is like a shoebox, and my bed pretty much takes up the whole thing, and then... It's longer than it is wider, and at the end of the room, I have my huge dog crate, and so she takes up the rest of it.
Yeah, you live with the dog, you know. The dog's got to live. It's got to have its area.
I love Marsha, though. I really can.
I love your pictures of her all the time.
Having Marsha, like, she is a wild child. She's a freaking lunatic.
She's a nut of a dog.
But...
Those are the best dogs.
I know, but she has, like, this intuition about her. That sometimes if I'm like feeling anxious, she'll just go in between my legs and she'll look up at me and she'll make sure I'm okay. She'll just lay on my chest if she feels knows. Anxiety. You know what I mean? Like she knows if I'm like not.
No, they have some kind of like weird connection with humans that they can just kind of like They just
they
understand.
know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and some of them don't. Some of them are dumb as shit, and they don't get it.
They're just
and
there
they
to
don't
go
care.
chase the ball.
They're just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And some of them have like.
Marsha
like,
has
are you
that
a dolphin?
intuition
like,
though.
Yeah.
Are you a dolphin?
Like, do you have the brain of a dog? Like, what's happening?
But she's definitely at that level.
She helped you through the whole
accident,
thing. Yep.
through breaking up with Eddie, and then getting back together with Eddie.
Yeah, that's true. That's an OG. Like, she's always there.
She's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and sometimes it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, it's
like
a dog,
she's literally
you know?
always
I mean,
there.
sometimes you get annoyed with it.
Yeah. It.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it, I love my dog, but she's like a little bitch sometimes. You know? That's how it is.
Yeah.
But I miss her when I'm at school.
Yeah. Well, luckily, like I didn't go away or anything, so I was able to, always keep her. But it sometimes it's a financial burden though, because like this weekend I have races this whole weekend, and she's gonna cost me like $125 for the dog sitter for the whole weekend. Yeah. So, sometimes that sucks.
Yeah.
But what can you do? She's gotta have a place to be. She can't be in her crate all day. You know what? That's something
it's a net positive.
We didn't talk about was that beauty pageant that I was in.
Yeah,
did you see about that?
I maybe
if you see any pictures of me in a crown and a sash.
Oh, I did see that. I shared it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I think I said congrats on it or something.
Yeah. So I decided to do that. Okay. So for people who are not in the racing industry, community, whatever, there's trophy girls, and I say that like it's a bad thing because it's just never something I identified with. But when Eddie and I broke up, I almost lost like this sense of self, this like identity. Where do I fit in the racing industry? Whatever. Like I couldn't really work again yet. I couldn't race again yet.
So limbo, ultimately.
So I was in limbo, and then my friend who organized the pageant, it's a smaller one, and she asked me to do it, and I was like, okay. Yeah. So I did it, and I won. I really didn't think I was going to win, but I won, and it's really fun. And, I have mandatory appearances, and I got to sign autographs, and
That's
sell
awesome,
posters.
Though. No, congrats for you. That's so cool. I mean, you wouldn't even think. I actually just I emceed a beauty pageant in Wildwood.
No way!
Yeah, they were doing a convent. There was like a bridal show, and they had like a beauty pageant, or like a runway thing, like. I don't know what the hell it was, but and there was like designers there, and then they needed somebody to MC it, and my boss just hands me. It's like my second day, and he just hands it to me. He's like, "Here's a script, go ahead." And I was like, "Okay," so I did it.
How cool!
It was cool, and then I got to go up, and like I met all the girls, and like I went up after on stage, and like
Did you get any digits?
Nah, they were like real models. It was just like the DJ guy.
Not in your league.
I didn't. Well, I don't know. They were really tall, which is. They're like 5'11".
Yeah, you can't have the Napoleon syndrome though.
I mean, I don't mind. Honestly, don't mind tall girls. It's fine. No, I'm cool with it. Like, I don't discriminate. Like, if I like you, I like you. But like, they were cool though. They were nice girls. It was interesting, but yeah.
You're very well spoken. I would imagine that you did well at that.
Oh, thank you. I tried my best to.
Being an MC can sometimes be difficult if the crowd is not responsive, though.
Oh, Christian school prom? Yeah, I can tell you it's the hardest.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's tough. And then, but I just did a public school prom, and there's 340 kids, and it was the craziest gig I've ever done in my life.
How fun.
It was 300 people just bump into my shit. Like, I had my speakers maxed. Like, it was crazy.
That's so fun.
Yeah, and that was awesome. But then you do Christian school, and you're like, what the fuck? Either they want half of them want 70s, and two of the tables want rap, and the other tables want Fergie, and it's like, and then the ladies like can't play one curse word, or you're gonna you can't, or like get kicked out. I'm like, what? Like,
oh my god.
Some shit, yeah. Like,
yeah, it's some strict guidelines to follow, especially if. Because
can't slow dance.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't
touch each other.
You probably had to wear like long sleeves. Like they probably couldn't wear like sleeveless dresses or anything.
No, and it's very They were like, oh, this is only like second year we're able to do this. Like
prom.
I was like, do you know what the real world is like? Like
they're like the Duggars.
Like wait till you go to college and then you just gotta
get ready.
Fuck
like
until you have to be a slut to be cool. Like,
yeah. You know what? That is something that I don't like. I'm happy
it's some
that
bullshit. I'm not saying I like it. It's just the truth,
And I never had that like college experience where I like went away to school. I just did RV.
It's bullshit.
It's the same thing almost in the racing industry. Some girls are able to be friends with everyone, level with the guys and have fun with guys without
like be cool with them and then still
without
be a girl.
feeling like they have
like
to like put out basically.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of girls that they feel like the only way that they can keep someone's interest is to put out. Yeah. And some guys, that's how they treat it.
But I mean, like, it works for some girls, and I feel like some girls don't really have a problem with it. And
yeah.
And some do, and some won't. And they just have a line that they just, no, I won't do that.
Right.
To get to another position or to get another deal or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's like self-respect, I guess, right? Like.
Yeah, and it makes me sad for the girls that feel like they need to. There's a difference between needing and wanting.
Yeah, well, they obviously, if you do it, you want to do it. Like, I feel like.
No, you want something
Well, you don't have to do it, right?
No, but sometimes you cloud your judgment because you want something and you believe that the only way you're gonna get that one thing is by doing that one thing, and it's not that they're not enjoying. It's like they're having sex. Like, it's not that they're not enjoying it. No. It's not that they're miserable the whole time, but like maybe it's something they necessarily wouldn't have done.
Yeah, if they weren't in that position. If it wasn't for that motivator. Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah, you know and you want to, and yeah, I mean, you're looking out for your career, and you know. Right.
So, but then. There's so much slut shaming in the racing industry because if you sleep with like more than one driver or something like that, they'll call you a pit lizard.
A what?
A pit lizard.
A pit lizard.
Yeah. So basically someone that goes.
Funny.
Yeah. So that's what you get called.
Name.
Yeah, that's what you get called if you start sleeping around with drivers or crew guys.
I mean, if you're sleeping around with drivers, you're probably pretty hot. Like, I feel like you're probably doing your thing.
But that's like. I don't know. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't know.
No, that's how it is everywhere, though. If you
you're not gonna want to fuck the girl.
If you fuck 3 people, you're a slut. Like,
I know, but if you're not gonna want to fuck the girl that fucked the 5 friends you have in your freaking dorm room or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna want to fuck the girl. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional about this.
You're fine.
You're gonna want to fuck the girl that no one can get.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't matter how hot she is. They could all be 10s.
Yeah.
But these 2 10s sitting next to each other, you want that one that no one has fucked yet.
Yeah.
That you don't know the stories about how she sucks dick or whatever. Like, I'm getting
you haven't heard
now,
anything,
but, right? And you can't go compare experiences with your buddy.
Or you're just. I mean, there's different types of guys. There's the guy who does go for that girl that
it's like a victory, like a
like I got it, man.
Yeah,
like I fucking got it. Look, like I got it. And then there's the other guys who are like just easy pickings. Like, I'll just take whatever I can get, and that's fine. And we're young, and who cares? And she fucked 9, whatever. I don't matter. Like, rather not know, Yeah. And so there's it's especially at our age. It's like, I don't know. I think we're supposed to just fuck, like.
And that's fine.
I don't know. Like,
and that's totally appropriate to me.
Yeah.
But I thrive so much off human connection.
Yeah.
That if I were to just go do that,
I feel like shit.
I don't think that I would even have a good time.
If I just have like strictly like, if I don't have any like emotional, like I just feel like a bag of shit.
Yeah.
Like after I'm like, what now? Like you just go home and that's.
There's just no drive for me to do that.
Nah,
so
I'm not cool with that.
That's kind of why I'm like a serial monogamous. Like I like it. Obviously, like I said, like Eddie and I are on and off. Not are, but we're on and off for 5 years. So like we had both dated people, being broken up and stuff.
Yeah.
And if I like someone, that's my one person. I don't do something with 2 people at a time. I don't. It's not one night for me.
The energy for me is you're getting all or nothing with the energy. Like with you're like everything or you're nothing at all, really.
Right.
Like you're on the same.
Friend.
Yeah, 100%. You're on the same playing field as everybody else, or you're leaps and bounds like above the rest. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that's it.
And that's why I just don't like the hookup culture. And if that makes some people happy, that's fine, but it's just not for me.
I don't like it either. I think it's really dirty, and I think that
and it's actually not that safe because a lot of people
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's dirty as fuck. Y'all got hella diseases. and listen, if you're in a sorority, I don't know, like
good luck.
Fucking good luck. Like,
get tested, please.
Listen. If you're in a sorority, you might be a great person. You might not have no diseases. You might not go fuck everybody. Or you do the exact opposite of that.
Or you might.
And I mean, in the end, it probably doesn't matter as much.
No. And you're not
in term, if you fuck 30 guys, like who cares? You're doing you. Like
exactly.
Who gives a shit?
Follow your arrow, right?
Yeah, follow your whatever that arrow, whatever the form that arrow takes.
Yeah.
Follow that shit.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
And I'm completely supportive of whatever someone wants to do, but then you have to understand there are repercussions to things. There's, there's
Every
rumors
reaction,
spread.
equal and opposite
People
reaction.
find out about things. And if you care that they are going to look at you different, then maybe don't do that thing.
For me, reputation is everything.
Yeah.
Because if I want to build this, if I want to build anything that I have where people have to respect me, if you are an artist, like, people have to kind of respect your work, or they have to respect something about you. Maybe they don't respect you, but they respect your work. Or maybe they respect your work and they don't respect you. There's some form of respect going on.
Right.
And for people to buy into what you're selling. And all that is based on his reputation. So
yeah, I absolutely
think that's the ultimate. I mean, you have to just do people right, because if you don't, then people are going to know. Like, it doesn't matter if you move somewhere else.
Right.
Like, they're going to know you're an asshole off the bat if
Right.
that's how you act normally.
That's how you portray yourself. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. And like I said, if you want to do you go and do you, sweetheart. But you got to understand that sometimes having so much confidence puts you in situations that you don't belong in. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, confidence is some shit. I just talked to my friend Joe about it. My friend Joe, who I've had on the podcast, shout out Joe Gibbs. He is so confident, and it's all natural. Like, it's all just natural. And, like, he's just one of those people that you just, like, different outfit every day. Like, he's got, like, a nice car and, like the grills and shit. Like, he's got that, too. And he also has all this, and it's, like, for some people, it's, like, that's just, they were built that way or something. Like, and, like, I have a decent amount, like, nothing, like, too crazy. And he doesn't have overconfidence either. He has, like, just the right amount.
Right.
And because the overconfident people are the ones who are just, they're making it up for something.
Right.
And
when you, like, allow yourself to get into that headspace where you're so overconfident, like, I'm trying to avoid giving the example I'm thinking of because it has something to do with me. And at a time I was overconfident and put myself in a situation I didn't belong in. But
happens to everybody.
It does. But, like, if you allow your ego to get the best of yourself, if you allow that hit of dopamine of being egotistical to, like, continue to be what you are driven for, like, you get into situations and places in your life that are just shit.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Or sometimes you need that just to get by. And, like, my friend Dan, who I've also had on the podcast, shout out Dan Valente, he's got a ton of confidence too, and he walks in the room like he has $1 million, and he's the only one that has $1 million. And for me, I'm more of a 500,000 guy. Yeah. I'm more of a, like, I got it when I need it. I got it when I need it, but sometimes I don't have to be that. I can just almost act like I'm, like, shy. Like, I don't even need to talk. Yeah. And nothing, like, against him. He obviously, like, he's very successful. Like, he's a day trader, and now he doesn't do it anymore. But he's always got something going on, and he's that type of person. But you learn that from people, because you go, like, I'm around him or I'm around Joe, and I'm like, I need to be more like these guys. Yeah, but it is the energy that they bring, and it's not false. Like, I know with them, it's not false. They believe in themselves. Yep. And the overconfident people believe that
they want people to believe in themselves. They don't care about if they do.
Their mission is make people believe that I believe in myself, rather than I already do, so I don't have to worry about that. Yep. Yeah.
It's all about that outward
projection.
Yeah, projection, and rather than what you actually feel in yourself. And going back to what fills your cup, that's never going to fill your cup. People, how they see you, it's never going to make you happy. Yeah. It's only how you feel about yourself, what work you're putting out, and if you're proud of it or not.
Yeah, it's the input. Your input is directly correlated to your output. That's it. Like, the amount of time and energy you put towards people is the amount of time and energy you get back.
Absolutely.
Like, I suck at answering text. I don't expect people to text me back right away because I fucking suck at answering texts.
I had 32 unread messages in my phone yesterday, and I finally got through them all. Nice. Like, it was disgusting.
I can't imagine girls. Like, guys is like, whatever, people text us sometimes. Girls, I feel like, is always like, just, like, especially taking it back to the college, like, there's always people hitting you up at college, like, when you're in college and shit, especially if you're, like, just people sending you fucking 500 DMs, and there's fucking Tinder, and there's all this shit.
I will say, guys,
5,000 notifications.
And this may sound like a cocky thing for me, but, like, guys are just ballsy. Like, when Eddie and I broke up, we broke up around New Year's. We got back together, like, at the end of March. But in that time, like, right when we had broken up, people had no shame. It didn't matter if they were, like, friends with him, not his best friends, but, like, friends with him,
or mutually knew you guys,
or whatever, like, or knew him better than me even, or, like, went to high school with him, and, like, I met them once. Like, they had no shame about like hitting me up. And I was like, dude, like, I don't know you. You're Eddie's friend. Like, see you never.
I'm not one to slide in the DMs. Like, I don't do it often. I've done it.
Yeah.
Because I think you just kind of have to in this culture. But, yeah, we don't give a motherfuck. If there's an inch, it's a mile. Equals 1 inch equals sign 1 mile.
1 mile.
That's the fucking road. That's the
shot.
key. Yeah.
I can respect shooting your shot, though.
Yeah. And the worst is shooting your shot, and then she has no pictures of her boyfriend, but she has one. And you're like, you know what? That's a facade. Make sure you put one up for me, buddy.
Sometimes girls do that, though, so that they can see what happens. Get those DMs, that validation from guys.
Yep. No, but now they just post the question thing. Ask me a question, and I'll just post a picture of myself. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So there's a thing on Instagram stories.
On Instagram, you can do like
is ask me a question.
Yeah. Oh, ask me a question.
Or whatever. Ask who, or you just write something. It'll say write something, and there's a box.
Yeah. Privately respond to
There's a box, yeah. And then all the girls do is post that, and then all they say is they only post the ones that are compliments. And then they post 16 compliments with 16 different pictures of themselves at a different angle. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, okay, how inflated is your ego?
Yeah. And how bad do you need this?
How about this? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that out, and then I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
You do that. You try that, and try not to look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Try that. Like, that's what, like, that would be the ultimate. That would be putting that, like, what if somebody got a camera in your face and a microphone, like, answer this question.
Yeah. And it doesn't say, oh, you're
beautiful.
Really pretty. I've always wanted to hit you up, but I haven't. You've always intimidated me or whatever.
That's all. I love when they're like, nah.
Yeah.
When it's a full compliment, nice, and then they're like, nah, I'm talking to somebody, and then 2 later, it's like, okay, hit me up. It's like, who are you talking to?
Girls are crazy.
We are like some outliers. I feel like we're not completely.
We're different.
We're not completely invested in the culture.
But in very different ways.
Yeah.
You know.
We're in our own like worlds at the same time, but we're the same amount. Like
removed.
Yeah, removed. Yeah.
For sure.
Which is this is why we do this.
Mm-hmm. That's why we get along so well. We can just talk about anything.
I don't see you for a year. We talk for 5 minutes and you sit down and do a podcast.
Yeah. Sometimes it works.
Yeah, no, and that's
We've always been that way.
I know.
Since we were little.
Shit, yeah. Jenna was like my first crush.
I knew it.
Back in the day, straight up. But yeah, we were, because I was friends with her neighbor, shout out V. Yeah. And so we were
the three of us. We've talked about this so long. The three of us need to get on a podcast together.
Yeah,
get another microphone.
V is just gonna go off on some shit. We're just gonna let him do it.
Yeah, him and I are probably gonna talk about like Quentin Tarantino for the whole time.
That's cool with me. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I love Quentin Tarantino movies.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm more of like a Coen Brothers guy, but I do like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yeah, like No Country for Old Men is like the fucking OG, dude.
Really?
I love that movie so much.
Well, Kill Bill is my all-time favorite. So Vito and I have had multiple conversations about all of our.
It's vicious. That's what Vito would say.
Yeah, vicious.
It's a vicious movie.
And then he laughed.
My man.
Yeah.
Straight up. Now we'll get him on. I'm
Are you 21 yet?
My summer is whack. No, in September, so I'm kind of boned. Yeah.
Damn.
I don't go out, and nor do I really want to. So unfortunately,
but you know what?
I'm not that person.
Artie's is a fun place to go.
I know.
Just like
I know.
watch.
Yeah, just kind of see the dynamic. Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'll go. I can go now. I
guess you could.
I could just walk in and just be there. But
hang out.
Yeah, I'll go. One day I'll go.
Maybe. It is fun to just like watch the people that never left and never will leave. I mean, I'm still here, but
yeah.
Just
and watch like people hit on people who are like way older or way younger.
The guys that can't get anyone their age because everyone's like married or whatever now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens there for sure.
I'll go have some fun one night this summer. I'm trying to do a show there, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Because I'm trying to link up with Anthony and try to like get something.
I saw him at the bagel store yesterday.
Yeah, he was home. He's not. He left now, but.
Yeah, it was like.
We're doing a song together. It's just gonna take. We're just have to. Things have to work. So.
Workout schedules.
Yeah, we'll try to get it this summer though, and so I'm working on some shows for the summer, and I'm gonna see where it goes.
I'll make sure I hit one up.
But yeah, when do you have to go to your class?
I gotta leave in 5 minutes.
All right. Well, it's all right. Yeah, we can wrap her up.
All right.
Cool. I think that was solid. It was like an hour and 10 minutes. That was cool.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Is anyone still watching live?
I don't even know. I can see.
Is it on your Instagram or YouTube?
There's one person watching right now, and
this is probably Liz.
Tiffany was in the chat. I don't know who Tiffany is, but
is it on Facebook?
No, it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
That's my Miss Speed Sport. Very proud of you, Jenna. Great job, babe.
Oh, yeah. Tiffany's the one Tiffany. That I said that.
Shout out Tiffany.
Organized the pageant.
Oh, cool.
And she's been like a really cool mentor for the whole
thing. Good. Well, shout out her for checking in.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we got some people. The stream was good the whole time. I don't think it really lagged, so that's Sweet. Good. Yeah, thanks for coming. Let's just let people know where to find you and everything.
Yeah. Oh, well, like on my social medias.
Yeah.
I really don't like run my social media as I should, but okay. I have Instagram as just at Jenna Shotz, Twitter at Jenna Shotz, Facebook Jenna Shotz, and then if you want to follow my Miss Speed Sport page, it's just Miss Speed Sport Showcase 2019 Jenna Shotz.
Bang, Jenna Shotz. That's not her last name, so don't get it wrong.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. All right, cool. That's BopCast. Episode something, folks, and yeah, we'll get back to you on the next one. Next one, I think my friend Jasmine is coming on to talk about some fitness. So that would be interesting. I have not had a fitness person on, so I get a trainer on here so they can dispel some myths for me because we got to talk diet. That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, Jenna.
Have you had any other females on your show?
Yeah, my friend Mackenzie Bruning. Yeah, I had her on. Who else have I had on? Just you and her, I think.
Sweet.
So and Milana. Yeah, my friend Milana. She's a model. She was very interesting podcast too. She's cool. So yeah, the three of you guys, and you're the first repeat. So.
Not
because my friend Brian wanted to be the first one, but we just didn't organize it in time. So you beat Brian.
I win.
Brian's the man. Actually, we'll be getting Brian back on too because he's insane. And Jasmine will be coming on soon. So stay tuned.
Good stuff.
BopCast, Jenna. Thank you
right.
so much. Appreciate it. Anytime.
All right. Are we?